Our group's project was on the subtle differences of Coke and Pepsi and which one is ultimately liked better.
The objective of this experiment is to explore the effects of previous biases on a preference. We're answering the question, is there a difference in the preference between Coke and Pepsi if subjects are told what brand they are drinking beforehand?
In this experiment, P1 is the proportion of CCA students who prefer Coke over Pepsi when they're not told which one they're given. This is treatment 1. Treatment 2 is P2, and that's the portion of students who prefer Coke over Pepsi when they are told which one they're given.
We set up a table in the middle of our gym and urged people to take part in our study. All of our participants were volunteers, so we didn't have random selection. However, we did have random assignment.
We had 2 cups, each filled with 100 pieces of paper. In one of the cups, half of them had the number 1 on it, and then half of it had the number 2.
If you pick up a slip of paper with the number 1 on it, that means you're not told which drink you're drinking. If you pick up a slip of paper with the number 2 on it, that means you are told whether you're drinking Coke or Pepsi.
The other cup also had 100 slips of paper in it, half of them with A and half of them had B. If the subject got A, then they have Pepsi first. If they have B, they have Coke first. This is to eliminate confounding variables.
Finally, to reduce variability, we used a really large sample size of 100 subjects.
Now we're going to insert some fun pictures from my data collection.
When they didn't know what they were drinking, 34% of people preferred Coke and 66% of people preferred Pepsi.
When they did know which one they were drinking, 80% preferred Coke and 20% preferred Pepsi.
For data analysis, we constructed a 2-sample z-test for difference in proportions for estimating significant evidence for soda preference when telling or not telling people what they're drinking.
Our p-value of 3.392 times 10 to the negative 6 is less than our alpha significance value of 0.05, so it has convincing evidence that the proportion of students who preferred Coke over Pepsi with treatment 1 is different than the proportion of students who preferred Coke over Pepsi with treatment 2.
Basically, we found a difference in preference when we told people they were drinking Coke or Pepsi beforehand versus when we didn't. So this means that when we told them what they were drinking beforehand, they would prefer Coke, but when we didn't tell them, they would prefer Pepsi.
Unfortunately, we did have some errors in data collection. For example, we only have a limited sample size, and some people overheard us saying which cup was which.
Overall, this project showed us an application of statistical knowledge we had learned in class throughout the semester and allowed us to combine our interest in a subject, Coke versus Pepsi, with statistical data and analysis.